In order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you have moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you're participating in a yoga class or class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. All right, now with that, we're going to get started. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Barre. If you're new to Barre, Barre is a combination of yoga, Pilates, and ballet. We target specific areas of your body with small movements and a lot of pulsing to give you a more well-rounded workout outside of your typical workout that you do during the week. I sent over a playlist on Spotify. If any of you don't have that, feel free to ask in the chat or any questions that you have throughout the class. And with that, we're just gonna go ahead and get started just by bouncing back and forth on our mat, rolling out our shoulders, shaking things out, and getting things going. So shaking out our shoulders, rolling out them out, thinking about your intentions for today's class. What kind of workout are you feeling? This is your workout, and you get to set your boundaries and what you're looking for today. All right, coming into a shoulder length distance position, we're just going to start with some light pliés and rolling our right hand back, just with a nice rhythm. If you're listening to music, maybe doing it flat. If not, I always say the beat of your own drum or fan. I will be probably taking some switch positions, some options down. I have moved into Williamsburg and it is hot, and sometimes, you know, you need to take some options just to make sure that you're being safe, and I can teach you all class today. All right, switching hands, rolling that left hand back now. Sorry, just checking to make sure everything's working. With a nice bend in those legs, soft bend, and switching direction, rolling forward now. Good work, everyone. Just getting our heart rate nice and elevated while also waking up every portion of our body. All right, coming into first position, we're going to have a nice soft V in our legs, ankles touching, nice turn out. Make sure you're comfortable, not overextended. Putting your hands on your hips, we're just gonna go up into releve and lower. That means you raise your ankles and lower them. For this, just make sure you have a nice neutral spine. We're not tucking in or tucking out. That is one big thing about Barre that differs from traditional ballet. So just doing a nice soft little raise and lower to wake up your calves today. And once you're ready, if you want to add in, I'm gonna scoot back so you can see my face a bit. You can add in your arms, bringing them into second and above your head. Just nice raise. I feel like this move always gets my ass nice and woken up. So just doing it, nice soft bend in those legs as you lower and raise. Making sure throughout today's class that if you ever need any water, have any questions, or just need a break, taking that for yourself. This is your workout. I'm just here to give you some moves and some company as we do it together. Raising for a few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into second position now. Hi. Yes, you're welcome to turn on your video if you want. It is only recording me. Second position, you're going to plie down. You want your hips more, your legs more than shoulder distance apart. Nice deep plie, neutral spine. And when you come up, we're going to stretch our opposite arm over our leg, come into second position plie, and raise. This is waking up our legs, raising our heart rate, and our obliques. And you can keep it at this pace, or if you're looking for a little additional workout, just doing it double time. And if you have a beat, please feel free to do it to that. We don't do exact numbers often here. in our classes, just making sure that we're getting well-rounded on both sides. All right, for 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, my heart rate is starting to get raised. So coming into it, we're gonna do a squat progression. So bringing your feet a little bit more than shoulder distance apart, facing forward, we're just gonna get you set up in that squat. Bending your knees, you want your knees above your ankles, weight evenly distributed. If you wanted to, you could lift up your toes. You're just going to come up and straight. So bend and straighten. It's important with these squats to make sure you have a nice proud chest. And that means as if there was writing on your chest right here, someone could read it. I'm gonna give you a side view just so you can see a little bit more the positioning. Whew. Warm up always gets my heart rate nice and raised for the rest of the class. Very sweaty, especially in Williamsburg. All right, we're gonna do 4 more and we're gonna add on. 3, 2, 1. All right, next time we come up, you're gonna bring your opposite elbow to leg, touching them together, coming back into a squat, and doing the same on the other side. Whew. Slight twist in that obliques to get that tap, just to wake them all up, and getting that heart rate nice and raised. Whew. All right, we're gonna do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. We're gonna transition out of the squat progression, wake up our legs a little bit more with some lunges and a little bit more in second position. So facing the side of your mat, hips square, feet a little bit like making a nice triangle. You're gonna have your right foot in front. We're just gonna do a simple lunge. So bringing your legs down, nice 90-degree bend on both of those, keeping that knee above your ankle as you go down. And when you straighten, you're going to shift your legs. So now you're in second position, facing forward into a plie. When you come up, shift to the other side, now left leg forward, and go into that lunge on the other side. And we're just gonna transition between these two. When you go into that lunge, feel free to keep your arms above your head. Whew. You can go at whatever rate you want for these. It's very important that you just keep the proper form, making sure we're waking up those legs and just the rest of our body in the proper way. All right, we're gonna do a few more here. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, everyone. Now I want you to face your feet forward instead of turned out. They're facing directly in front of you, but keeping your legs in that second position while regaining your breath. Shoot your arms up and then drape them over your body. If you can touch the floor, give your legs a nice bend in that second position and just straighten and bend. Deepening that stretch with your breath each time. This is waking up our hamstrings a bit. Whew. Bring your heart rate a little bit lower after that squat and lunge progression. Maybe deepening that plie a little bit more. Whew. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. We're gonna walk to the end of our mat, shooting our hands up, straightening them over our legs. We're gonna walk into a plank position. For our plank position, I'm gonna be doing this a good amount during today's class, so I just wanna set you up correctly. I'm gonna bring my legs down just to explain. You're gonna make a straight line from your shoulder to your wrist, directly touching the mat, spreading out your fingers nice and wide so they're facing away from you. You're going to have a nice flat back, engaged core, shooting energy through those legs to make sure everything is nice and engaged so you're not drooping. Good. And we're just going to transition from this into our downward dog. For our downward dog, you just shoot your hips back and then coming back down. into that plank. Just at your own pace, transition between these two, just getting a nice stretch. We're gonna do 2 more and then stay in that downward dog. All right, last one. Staying in this downward dog, I want you to walk your dog a little bit, just meaning you bend one foot and then the other. Just deepening that stretch. Now we're going to do a 3-legged dog, meaning you raise one foot while staying in this downward dog position. Taking your right foot, you're going to shoot it up behind you, making sure you're cognizant of the space around you, and you're going to bring it in past that downward dog position into that plank position, right by your elbow, and then coming back out. We're going to do 5 of these in total at your own pace. That was 2 for me. 3, 4, 5. Coming back into that downward dog, you're gonna transition into your left sides. I'm just gonna wipe off my hands really quickly. Just like I said, Williamsburg is a hot place during the summer, people. All right, coming up, you're going to shoot that left leg back, straightening, pointing that toe, bringing it through that downward dog, right by your elbow, knee to elbow, into that plank position, and straight in. Doing 5 of these in total. 3, 4, last one, 5. Good job. Coming into a low lunge, just to stretch out those legs a little bit more, bringing your right leg forward in between those hands. You're just gonna have a nice deep lunge to stretch out those legs a little bit more. Taking that right arm, or the arm of the same foot that's in the front, bringing it up into a nice twist position to open yourself up a little bit more to wake up. Oh, that feels good, the fan's hitting me. Deepening in, stretching into that, and coming back down. Shooting your leg back out and bringing your left leg forward into that same lunge. Stretching up, waking up your body, raising the heart rate while also stretching, and shooting back into plank position. We're gonna lower our hands, tucking them by our sides, so we're down on the floor, laying nice and straight. Take a moment, enjoy laying on the floor until you shoot your chest up to stretch out that core a bit more. We are almost done with the warm-up, and then we're going to transition into our arms portion. All right, planting those feet on the ground so they're nice and flexed, coming back up into downward dog. You're gonna walk your hands back out into standing and come up. All right, that finishes our warm-up. If you wanna grab a quick sip of water, feel free. We're going to go into our arms portion now, starting off on the mat and then transitioning into body weight and with those light hand weights I mentioned. So shooting your hands up, we're just gonna walk up and down the mat, walking down into a plank position using your arms, staying there, and then using your arms to walk back up and straight in. These are just called walk-ups. They're fun. Feel like, I don't know, I'm climbing a bit. Kind of walking forward and back. I'm gonna do 12 altogether, so. Maybe going to the rhythm. If you want to speed it up a bit, totally up to you. You can do double time to really get that heart rate going and get those arms working. All right, 5 more. I don't know where you guys are at on the playlist, but I hope you're enjoying it. Right. Guardians has, this is cliche, but one of the best soundtracks of all time. I always seem to reference some kind of movie during one of these classes. 2 more. Last one. And when we come down this time, we're going to stay in plank position to do some shoulder taps. All right, coming back down, regaining your breath, you're just going to tap your shoulders. Option, you can bring your knees down and do the same. When you're doing these shoulder taps, it's important to make sure that you're stabilizing those hips, engaging that core while using your arms not shifting your weight massively one side to the other, really staying still besides those arms. And you have the option at all times, come down on your knees or take a break and grab a sip of water. We got 10 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Take a moment. Shoot yourself back into child's pose. Regain your breath. I'm doing this a little bit selfishly for me. It is very hot in here. My meager fan is not enough. So take a moment, regain your breath and whatever you need. And we're going to come into a diamond push-up. So coming into a push-up position, starting off with your knees on the ground, you have the option to bring those legs up if you would like. We're going to bring those arms in from the typical push-up position into a diamond shape. You're going to bring your thumbs touching each other and your pointer fingers, making a line from your heart to this diamond. I'm going to show you here what it looks like so, in front of you. Now we're going to do 10 full, 10 pulses, 2 sets. So once you get comfortable deciding if you want to take the option to go up on your legs or down on your knees, whatever is right for you today, just knowing how many we need to do, going down, starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This time stay down for 10. Pulse 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Take a minute, regain your breath. That is a tough move. I know, at least it is for me. Regain your breath, maybe stretch out those palms a bit, just stretching them out. Maybe toweling off if need be, if you're sweating a lot. Maybe you're in the berg yet, or maybe not. It's just summer everywhere. Coming back into that diamond position, I'm gonna do one more set of 10 and another set of pulses. You guys got this. This is the last set and last push-up of the class before we go into our standing arm section. Ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Take a moment, regain your breath. Maybe towel off if necessary. I'm gonna grab a quick towel to wipe my face. It's actually a shirt, but you know, we make do with what we got. We're gonna go into our standing arms portion now. You won't need those weights starting off. You'll need them in a minute. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. I encourage you all to do the same if you feel like you need to. Good job. All right, just checking your timing, doing great. Shooting your legs out a little bit more than shoulder distance apart. You're gonna have the option to go into a second position plie during this portion. It is up to you if that is an added option that you would like. Feel free to do so, but you may also just stay in a plie. All right, so keeping our arms down, we're going to pulse up for 2 with our palms facing up, then flipping them facing back and pulsing back for 2. Pulsing up, 2, back, 2. And if there's any point where there's any issues with connectivity, please let me know, or sound or audio. Just got a little notification, so not sure if that's happening, but just let me know and I'll try to address that. So we're pulsing up and back. This is working our shoulders, our back a bit, and our chest. It's crazy how some body weight can just really kill your arms, just having them lifted up there. Keeping in that second position plie if you would like for that added little bonus workout. Maybe doing it to the beat of the music if you have it. If not, just pulsing up. I'm gonna shift the camera a bit. Oh, okay, it's better. I saw the lighting was weird and I wanted to make sure you guys can see me. Back, 2, up, back, All right, we got 10 more, and we'll do our next move. 8. Ooh, it's burning. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. All right. Keeping those arms out, we're going to do some bicep curls, showing off our nice biceps. You're just going to straighten if you're in that second position plie, flex those muscles like you're showing off, and come straighten with your palms facing up. Flexing in and straightening. You have the option to just do this standing as well, or you can add in that plie. Really pretend you're like a Greek god, really flexing those muscles and looking. Our nice ballet bar muscles. Whew. If you ever need to rest your arms for a minute, shaking them out, please feel free to do so. We want this to be a challenging but comfortable workout. Whew. Straightening and flexing. Continue doing that for 2 more. I'm just going to make sure the audio is all good. Please message if you can't hear me, but I think we are all good to go. All right, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, coming out of that second position into keeping your feet a little bit about shoulder distance apart, we're just gonna do some prayer pulses, which is working our chest. Bringing your hands together so your arms are touching and your forearms nice in front of you. You're just gonna pulse up. A nice slight bend in those legs like so. You pulse up and down. Pulsing, feeling that in our chest, that nice burn. The burn we look for, and a nice good workout. Keep me going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bringing those arms down, we're going to keep our legs bent in that shoulder distance position. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into our skier slope position. So bending those knees, hinging forward at the hips to tilt your upper body about 45 degrees, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of you. We're going to bring those arms, making a nice straight line with your palms facing outside of your body, and we're just going to pulse up. These are just some nice tricep pulses. It's a great workout. You can do these with weights, with some nice tricep curls, or you can just do these pulses. It is still a great workout. If you can't tell already, I am sweating a lot. These no weight upper body workouts can really be killer. All right, pulsing. You're 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good job. Take a moment, roll out your arms. That finishes our no weights portion of our arms workout. Feel free to grab those light hand weights, 1 to 3 pounds, or some household objects. Got my cans of chickpeas ready to go. We're just gonna finish up this workout with some nice burn. Bringing your legs back into that second position. Once again, you have the option to just go into that second position, plie and hold, just a way to have a little additional work. We're gonna start with one of my favorite moves. You guys might recognize it. It's called a robot arms. We're going to transition from a chest press into a shoulder press. So keeping those arms at your side, nice 90-degree tilt. You're going to push out those weights, pulling it in, flipping those arms up, and pushing above your body. You know, kind of like the robot in a weird way. It's like a backwards robot. I know this is far, but we can do some other dance styles in here as well. Really creating that tension with your arms, because even if you have those light hand weights, they are light, so it's the positioning and tension that you create when you come back. Picturing a nice little pencil between those shoulder blades that you're squeezing there. We're gonna do 5 more. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bringing those arms out to your side, we're gonna do some nice ballet arms. So slight bend in those arms in a nice second position. You're just going to plie down in second position, and when you come up, raising them with a nice, I'm gonna bend so you can see me, ballet arms above your head and lowering. So adding in that plie if you would like, or just doing it standing. Making sure you're nice, really consciously moving your arms up and down as you transition between these two movements, two arm positions, to make sure you're not falling up and down. Oh, arms are burning, people. This is killer workout. A few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering those hands or weights, whatever you have. We're going to do some just little ventral raises just to finish this up. Facing your palms towards your body and those weights, you're just gonna lift up to the side with your thumbs facing down and lowering down slowly. Raising up and lowering down. Keeping a nice slight bend in those knees. So you're consciously moving up and down. With all the work we've been doing on our arms, it is completely normal for them to feel exhausted. We are really burning these out today. Killing our arms. We'll do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Take a moment, roll out those shoulders, drop those hand weights. That's all you need them for today. Roll your shoulders back towards the back of the room and then towards the front. Just really, we're gonna give them a nice stretch. Crossing your hand in front of your body, grabbing your arm either in front of or behind your elbow, not on it, just giving it a nice light stretch. And then transitioning into your other arm. Same positioning. Nice to incorporate stretching throughout our workout. Doesn't have to be shaved, just for the end. All right, walking that hand down your back, walking those fingers as you push down to stretch out that tricep a bit. And then switching arms. Walking those fingers down. Good. Locking those fingers, flipping them out for a nice little chest opener. If you want, you can fall down and let them open. Bending those legs, just to let her heart rate lower a bit after that killer arm workout. Good job, everyone. Grab a quick sip of water. We're gonna transition into our bar portion. So if you wanna grab that chair, desk, couch, whatever you're using for balance, feel free to do so now. And just make sure that you're very cognizant of the room that you have. Make sure we're being safe as we do this killer workout. All right, starting with our hand on the bar, we're gonna shoot our legs out into second position. We're going to do some plies in releve. You'll have the option to stay down off of releve if you would like, but for that added workout, you're going to lift those heels off the ground, bring that arm into second position, go into a nice grand plie, keeping that positioning that we were talking about before, and straightening. So in grand plie, it's important to make sure that you have a nice neutral spine. So picturing you're sliding up and down a wall. And even though our legs are pretty far apart, still picturing you have a nice zipper as you zip up and lower. And once again, if you would like, lowering those heels onto the ground into just a normal grand plie. Still a great workout. And do a few more here and then add on 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to stay down and pulse for 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten again. We're going to finish up with 10 full grand plies, and we're going to do this again on the other side. Coming down and straighten. We're going to add in a few more things just to change it up a bit. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. I'm gonna transition a bit so you can see so I'm not shrouded in darkness. We're gonna repeat that with our opposite arm just to really burn out our legs, but we're gonna do some other stuff in between. So resting both hands on your bar, whatever that is, making sure you have a nice room and balance. You're going to keep your legs parallel, meaning that they are a little bit about shoulder distance apart, facing towards your bar. And you're going to come back up into releve and plie down and straighten. So going into that plie, straighten. We're not going all the way down, but it's a nice deep bend as we go up and down. And once again, option to just do a typical, it will be more of a squat if you're doing it without your releve. If you're struggling with balance, make sure you're not leaning too heavily on that bar for now. Pick a spot in the room to focus on. That'll help you make sure you're not falling over. We're gonna do 4 more and then add on. 3, 2, 1. Now we come down, we're gonna go halfway up and all the way down. Feeling those legs shake, that is completely normal if they are. When we're in this mid-range, a lot of the time, our muscles shake. They're just not used to us being here for long periods of time. All the way down, halfway up. Way down, halfway up. Ooh, they're shaking like a leaf. And we're gonna do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Stay down, pulse. Just really deepening into that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, take a minute. My legs were shaking. I'm sure yours were as well. Take a minute, regain your breath. We're gonna come back into that positioning. You have the option to go up and releve or stay down. We're going to raise those heels, similar in our parallel position towards the bar. Light connection with your hands. You're going to tap that leg out behind you and bring it in a little bit above that standing leg and straightening out. If you are on not in releve, it's the same movement, just not in releve. And if you want, if you're feeling it today, feeling it in that standing leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that leg in, just switching the other side, tapping that left leg out, bringing that knee in, and then tapping out again. Whew. Nice tap. So we go in and out, and that releve option if you would like. Whew. All right, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower, take a minute, maybe grab a quick sip of water. We're still a bit more to do on the bar, but you earned that water, or towel off if you would like. We're gonna go into some Arabesque and kick movements. If you have the ability to, for these, you have the option to lean more over your bar, just making sure that's at the right height, not too far down or too high up. But if not, have those hands planted on the bar. You're just not going to be able to kick as high, but you'll still get a great workout. So bringing your hands on the bar folded over if you would like, keeping a nice slight bend in that standing leg. We're going to point that leg out behind us, keeping our hips square, picturing we have 2 spotlights on them and they're facing towards the wall that we are. And we're just going to kick our leg back and tap our toe on the ground. For this, you're gonna have a slight turnout on that leg, that knee facing slightly out. So you lift and lower. You're leaning over like so. You'll be able to kick a little bit more high. If not, just make sure that you're really using that upper leg, lower glute to lift that leg. Maybe leaning over if you would like, making sure you're not opening up those hips, keeping them square towards the bar. 5 more, and then we're gonna pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that leg down. We're going to repeat that on the other side, but first we're gonna channel our inner dog and do some fire hydrants. So, keeping those legs bent, you're gonna have that right leg with a nice 90-degree bend, flex foot, leaning on the bar. You're just gonna lift that leg and lower it like you're a dog being on a fire hydrant. Lifting that up, you working that outside of your glutes. You lift and lower, keeping a nice bend in that standing leg. I'll show you from the side just so you can get another beautiful image. Maybe doing it to the beat of the music if you would like. Thinking about what you have planned for the rest of the day. Thanking yourself for coming for today's class. Plans for the weekend. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. We're just gonna repeat that all on the other side. So take a minute, regain your breath. Whew. Placing those hands on the bar, or option to lean over if you have the bar that can facilitate that for you. Bringing that left leg behind you, slight turn on that leg, so knee is facing slightly out, hips still square towards the front, keeping those spotlights in mind. You're just going to kick that leg back and lower. Now for this, it's really important, the height is not as important as the form. So making sure you're not opening that hip as you raise it, really feeling that squeeze, squeeze, squeeze right here, keeping a nice point in that toe, squeezing up using that lower glute to lift you up. Whew. Trying to think of different thoughts, what you have planned, maybe what you're watching right now. Some great new binge shows on Netflix. I have a lot of time to watch right now. 4 more. 3, 2, we're gonna stay up and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, you're almost there, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that leg, you're so close. We just have this and the second position, plie, repeat, and we'll be done with the standing bar. So keeping that nice slight bend, we're just gonna do the fire hydrants with that left leg, feeling that on our outer glute. Really giving you guys a burnout. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's this room feeling especially hot, but we are all in this together. Whatever you feel like you need to do for today to get the workout that you're looking for, that is totally fine. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna finish this up by repeating that second position plie set. You can now have your opposite arm on the bar. That can be your right arm or left arm, depending on what you had before. I'm gonna repeat on the same side just so you all can still see my nice sweaty face, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Just gonna repeat it to really burn it out. So have the option, come up into releve, put that arm up into second for a nice finisher as we go into grand plie and straighten. We're gonna do 2 sets, 10 full, 10 pulses. 6, 5, keeping that positioning. 4, 3, 2, 1, pulse down, pulsing down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. That actually finished it. I misspoke earlier. Good job, everyone. Grab a sip of water. I'm just checking my audio, making sure you guys can still hear me. Let me know if there's any issues with the audio, message in the chat. But if not, grab a quick sip of water. We're going to transition into our mat portion to finish up our legs. Like we didn't work on that enough. Then we'll do our core and then our cool down. All right, so coming on your knees, we're gonna do one of my favorite moves, requested by one of our participants. Resting your glutes on your heels, bringing your arms straight out in front of you. We're going to tilt that pelvis slightly forward to lift up and lower down. For this, it's working that right above those knees area. Not an area we typically work out. Really kills out those legs. Feeling maybe letting that heart rate lower a little bit from the standing portion. Feeling that right here, that nice burn. You're looking for an added little intensity. Just don't rest on your heels. Always just hovering slightly above them. Tilting up and down. We got 4 more, and then we're gonna do something a little bit fun. 3, 2, 1. Coming up, we're just going to stay up and move our hips around like this, kind of like a dance move. This is also engaging our core and our legs as we lower slightly, going clockwise, coming up fully, bending down as we circle those hips. You can pick up the pace if you want to whatever music you're listening to, or keep it nice and slow. And we're gonna switch directions. Just slightly different movement, but still having some fun. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower down. We're going to do some isolated glute bridges, and then we'll shift into our core portion. So coming onto your back, we're going to come down nice and flat, making sure you guys can still see me. Yep. We're going to start out with some full glute bridges just to get comfortable. We're just going to lift our legs up, keeping our arms against the ground, making a diagonal line from our chin to our knees and lowering down. We're gonna do 4 of these, and then we'll isolate each of our glutes to really burn them out. 2, 1. All right, lifting that right leg, you're gonna keep your knees in line with each other at all times, having a flex in that right leg as it's extended, just doing the same movement, only using that left glute now. Now, if you're looking for that added intensity again, just don't rest when you come down. Have a slight hover. If not, take that rest. We've been really killing out our glutes. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Shift your legs. We're gonna finish up our legs. We're so close. You guys are doing great. Keeping that left leg straight, knees in line with your right leg, flexed foot. We're just going to straighten and lower, keeping those hips in line with each other, creating that diagonal line still. Whew. We're almost there, done with our leg portion. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job, everyone. Take a moment, regain your breath. We're going to transition into our core portion of our workout, and then we'll finish with some stretching. Take a moment, breathe a little bit. Have a slightly longer core portion today, just because I feel like sometimes we never have enough time for it. So, straighten your arms and your legs so you're nice and flat on the ground. You're going to roll your arms up, crossing them over your chest. And like a conveyor belt, you're going to tuck your head up first. Then once that's up, lifting those shoulders, stacking your vertebra of your spine on top of each vertebra into a nice seated position, your feet flexed, nice lifted core, And then we're gonna lower back down, just doing a reverse, unsacking each vertebra until it's on the ground, then your shoulders, then your head, and lowering your hands. It's a sit-up, but we're just being a little slower about it, and a little more controlled. So really just making sure you're not falling down or using momentum as you come up. Coming up and lowering down. This is a nice moment to maybe regain your breath after that intense leg portion of our class. We'll do 2 more. Last one, and then we're going to stay up here and work our obliques a bit. Curling up, coming into that straightened position. We're going to bend our legs in so they're nice, just a nice little triangle. We're going to keep our arms in front of us, and we're just going to open to the side, bring our arms together, and close. This is opening up and working our obliques. Now you have the option, if you're looking for a little bit added intensity, what you're gonna do, you're just gonna lift those legs off the ground using that core as you open to each side. If you're shaking, that's totally normal. If you have a light pillow, like a throw pillow, you can stick it right here underneath your back to alleviate any pressure, or you can bring those legs down and just open your arms, kind of like nice ballet arms, I say. Open and close. Last 2. All right, coming together, we're just going to keep in this position right on our sits bones. We're going to straighten our arms up, lowering down right until you feel your stomach, your core seize up into that earthquake zone is what we call it. It's usually around a 45-degree angle. We're just going to pulse down. Arms straight above us, flat back, slight pulse, hardly moving, just keeping that core engaged as we pulse up and down, moving up an inch and down an inch. Feeling that burning sensation in your core. That just means it's working. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, coming straight up, you can fall into a butterfly pose for a minute. We're going to transition into a plank position to work our obliques and our core a little bit before we shift to work the back of our abdominals and core a bit, or our core a bit, not abdominals. Excuse me. All right, coming into our plank position, you're going to lift yourself up once again, and you're going to hold this plank, and we're just going to hold it in position. You have the option to do it in a couple ways. So I'm going to give you your options, and then we'll hold it together for 20 seconds. Your options are you can do it on your knees, still arms straight, or you have the option to come down on your forearms into this plank position as well. Up to you. I'm going to come up here. We're going to hold starting now. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those knees for a second. Good job, everyone. Take a moment, regain your breath. We're going to work our obliques a bit more by going into some side lunges. So coming up, you have the option, you'll once again have a few options. Twisting to your side, you can come into a nice full plank. You can have your feet stacked to the sides of each other or on top of each other. And you have the option to come down onto your forearm once again if you want to take a little pressure off those wrists. You have the option to be on your knees with your inner knee on the ground, or lifting it up. And we're just going to hold again for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Whew. Good job. We're almost done with our plank progression set. We're just going to transition onto the opposite side to work out our other oblique before we transition to work out our back a bit. Alrighty, so coming into whatever position you're on the other side to make sure you're getting that nice even workout. Either you're resting on your knee, you're up and full on with a nice straight arm, or you're on your forearm, whatever option works best for you. We're gonna have those legs stacked like so. I'm gonna straighten my arm out and we're gonna hold for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower again. Take a moment, regain your breath. We're going to transition onto lying on the mat to finish up our core workout. So, finishing up, a lot of times during our core workouts, we only focus on our abdominals, but it's important to get our entire core, which is what we're going to be doing now, working our back a little bit. So straightening your arms out in front of you, we're going to pretend we're swimming. It's summer, time to swim. So you're going to start by lifting your right hand and left leg up in the air, making sure that your gaze is towards the mat. And then we're going to come back down and switch with opposite arm and leg coming up. And we're just going to start by doing this. You have the option, if you would like, to keep your legs and arms lifted at all times as we lift, lower, lift, lower. Feeling that engagement. 4 more, and then we're going to butterfly, swim it out. 2, 1. Staying lifted, we're just going to kick both our arms like we're swimming for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Take a breath. We're going to do that one more time, and that will finish up the work portion of our class, and we'll transition into stretching. So really give it your all. Learn, coming back up, and we're in a swim. Ready? All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Good job, everyone. Transition into some cool down music if you would like, or listening to the end of my playlist. The music gets a little more cool down. We're just going to lower our heart rate a bit. Starting with this nice flat stretch on the ground, we're going to bring our arms to our shoulders, and looking down at the mat, we're going to stretch up in a nice serpent stretch to stretch our core again, leaning into it. It's important to add in stretching into all of your workouts to make sure that you thank your body and your muscles for all the work that it did, and that we're having a nice, well-rounded workout. All right, shooting your hips back, we're going to come back into child's pose. I'm going to scoot up a bit so you can see me. Coming down into child's pose. Arms straight out in front of you, just breathing in and breathing out. Thanking your body for all the work that it did. Thinking about the intentions you set and how you met them, how much work you put in today. As you do, walk your hands out to the right, staying in that child's pose to just get a nice deeper stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. 3 sets of breath. Last one. I'm going to walk our hands back to center and out to the left. Feeling that nice deep stretch in your back, on your shoulders. Breathing in for 3 and out for 3. Just regaining your breath, thanking your muscles, deepening into that stretch. Coming back up out of that child's pose, we're going to open up our hips a bit, coming down into a little clam position, upside down. You're gonna have your hips facing towards the ground, knees in a nice triangle with your toes and heels touching each other like this. Whatever flexibility-wise you can do is fine. It is just to open up your hips for today. So with your feet touching each other, if you can, bringing your head to the ground. If not, keeping it up. Just deepening in, stretching out those hips a bit. As we did a lot of leg work today, so want to make sure we give them all a nice even stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time. All right, straightening those legs out in front of you again, shooting up into that serpent stretch, coming back onto your toes. You're gonna bring that right leg forward again into that low runner's lunge like we did before. Lifting that right hand up into a nice twist. And lowering it down. Shooting that leg back, bringing your left leg forward to your left hand, and going back into that twist to really just deepen that stretch. This is one of my favorite stretches, so I often like to include it in the warm-up and the cool down. Coming back down, straightening those legs. We're going to transition onto our back. So lying down, flat on your back, bringing both your legs in towards your body, hugging them, thanking them for the work that they did, rolling out your ankles, nice and deep, opposite direction. Bringing that right leg in while shooting out that left leg. Rolling that ankle again, both sides. With your right hand, you're going to push your leg across your body so it crosses over, your hips twist, but ensuring that your shoulders still stay on the ground for a nice twist position. Breathing into that stretch. One more time. And rolling back up. With that right leg in, you're gonna bring in that left leg coming into a nice glute stretch. That right leg crossed on that left leg, both feet flexed. Pushing that leg out to open it. And then switching with our left leg now in and our right leg shot out. Rolling that left ankle, rolling it the opposite way. With that left hand, pushing that left foot across your body, letting your hips come off the ground, but making sure your shoulders still stay on and looking in the opposite direction to really just breathe into that nice deep stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Coming back up again, coming into that glute stretch, this time your left leg on top of your right leg, taking that left hand to push out that left knee slightly to deepen the stretch. Good. Shooting your legs out in front of you, rolling yourself up, vertebra on top of each vertebra, like before, and planting those feet onto the ground so that you're coming up. Making sure you take your time to roll up, maybe stretching out those legs a bit, bending and straightening a few times, just to really stretch out those legs before rolling up slowly, vertebra, stacking on top of each vertebra, making sure that you're coming up at a nice pace. You're on the ground for a bit. Rolling those shoulders back, and then rolling them forward. Stretching that head, taking your left hand and just stretching it slightly so you get a nice stretch in that neck. And then switching positions for the right arm. Finishing, putting your feet slightly turned out. We're just gonna do 3 centering breaths to thank you for your work today. So bringing your arms in into a nice cross position. And when you exhale, coming into a plie, bringing them above your body. Thanking yourself for the intentions you set today. I'm thanking you for coming. Bringing your hands to heart center. that finishes our class for today. Thank you so much for joining